is eyeing the latest conflict between China, officially the People's Republic of China, or PRC, a great power located in East Asia, and Taiwan, officially the Republic of China, or ROC, an island separated from China by the Taiwan Strait. For decades, the tension between the two sides has been fueled due to different views on Taiwan's status. On China's side, Taiwan is viewed as a part of its territory, and it seeks Taiwan's eventual unification with the mainland. On the contrary, Taiwan, with its own democratically elected government, is seeking independence from China. The cross-Strait relation has deteriorated in recent years, with the Beijing government strengthening the One China policy, and climaxed with the United States' significant show of support for Taiwan. So, why are the Taiwan-China relations that tense? And which role does the United States play in this conflict? Watch on to find out. The Taiwan-China conflict. How did it start? The division between Taiwan and mainland China dates back to the Chinese Civil War in 1949. Back in 1683, the island of Taiwan was ruled by the Qing dynasty of China, the last imperial dynasty of China, until the Treaty of Shimonoseki, which ceded Taiwan to the Empire of Japan. In mainland China, following the collapse of the Qing dynasty, the Provisional Government of the Republic of China, ROC, was founded, bringing Sun Yat-sen's Nationalist Party, or Kuomintang, KMT, to power. At the same time, the idea of the world communism was spread across Eastern Europe by the Soviet Union, led by Joseph Stalin, paving the way for the founding of the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, in 1921. During the warlord era, China was divided into several warlord fiefdoms and rival governments, which were then reunified in 1928 by the Nanjing-based national government, led by the Kuomintang. From hereafter, the Kuomintang, under General Chiang Kai-shek, ruled the Republic of China as a one-party state and then relentlessly purged the communists. In response, the CCP led armed rebellions, marking the outbreak of the prolonged Chinese Civil War. The war began the ascent to power of Mao Zedong as leader of the CCP. From 1937 to 1945, hostilities were mostly put on hold when two parties joined forces to resist the Japanese during the Second Sino-Japanese War. After Japan's surrender at the end of World War II, the KMT-led Republic of China took control of Taiwan. The civil war between the communists of Mao Zedong and the nationalists of Chiang Kai-shek resumed and ended with the communists' victory. The communists then gained control over mainland China, establishing the People's Republic of China, whereas the nationalists of the Republic of China fled to Taiwan, moving its capital to Taipei. Since then, mainland China and Taiwan have been put under the rule of two different governments, both claiming themselves to be the sole government of China. The modern conflict of Taiwan and China. How do it evolves? For decades, the PRC in the mainland has maintained its One China principle and considers Taiwan a rightful part of China, seeking Chinese reunification by either diplomatic efforts or military efforts. In 1972, the PRC was recognized as the only legitimate representative of China to the United Nations, in place of the ROC. Meanwhile, in Taiwan, democratic and independent activism gained momentum, especially after the Kuomintang ended martial law on the island and released its hold on power. This marked the birth of a range of independence-oriented political parties, most notably the Democratic Progressive Party, DPP. The DPP favors Taiwanese nationalism, identity, and independence, which is opposed by the KMT. In 1992, the KMT and the PRC reached a political agreement called the 1992 Consensus, agreeing on the existence of only one China, despite each defining China differently. The cross-Strait tensions have been rising since 2016, when the DPP gained the presidential seat with the election of its leader, Tsai Ing-wen. Tsai rejected the so-called 1992 consensus, which she claimed to be solely based on the One China principle, and strongly promoted Taiwan's independence from mainland China. In a 2019 speech in Beijing, Chinese President Xi Jinping again proposed Taiwan to be incorporated into the mainland under the formula of one country, two systems, the same framework used for Hong Kong. However, given Beijing's recent suppression of Hong Kong's freedoms, Tsai has rejected this formulation. For decades, China has pressured countries worldwide to list Taiwan as a part of China and cuts diplomatic ties with any country that does not. At present, there are only 14 countries that recognize Taiwan as a sovereign country and maintain official diplomatic relations with Taiwan. Location of Taiwan. Why does China want Taiwan so much? The island of Taiwan is 180 kilometers far from the southeastern coast of the PRC, or 130 kilometers in the narrowest part, separated by the Taiwan Strait. With its geographical location, Taiwan is considered both symbolically and strategically important to China. Symbolically, Taiwan is the last little piece of territory that the PRC believes is rightfully theirs, and the one last piece that they need to achieve its one China dream. Strategically, Taiwan's pivotal location serves as a variety of strategic purposes for both China and other powers, most notably the United States. To the U.S., Taiwan is a critical link in its strategy to project power in the Far East. The strategy encompasses 3 island chains, and Taiwan is the midpoint and key part of the first island chain, running from the Kuril Islands to Borneo in Southeast Asia, providing a line of defense for the U.S. against other rival powers, previously the Soviet Union, and now China. However, to China, this island chain is a strategic obstacle for China's navy, as Chinese naval supremacy is largely kept within the chain. Therefore, with control over Taiwan, China will be able to push beyond the first island chain, open up the Western Pacific to Chinese military assets, and one day become the dominant Pacific power. Taiwan-U.S. relationship. Will the U.S. defend Taiwan? Back in the mid-20th century, the U.S. developed diplomatic relations with Taiwan and recognized the Republic of China and Taiwan as the representative government of China. However, in 1979, it cut the diplomatic ties, revoked its mutual defense treaty with Taiwan, and, at the same time, established formal diplomatic relations with mainland China. Despite the shift, the United States remains an unofficial ally of Taiwan and continues to sell military equipment to Taiwan, ignoring warnings from mainland China. The U.S. does not support Taiwan's independence. Its chief goal, in its own words, is to ensure peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait and to maintain its sphere of influence in the region. However, the current U.S. President, Joe Biden, has explicitly expressed that the United States would defend Taiwan if China attacked. The next happening. Will China invade Taiwan? Since early 2022, Chinese President Xi Jinping has stepped up efforts to secure a third 5-year term in office. This is coupled with Beijing's restless efforts for unification with Taiwan and its rapid increase in military capabilities in the past few years, heightening the tensions between China and Taiwan. In August 2022, U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taipei. The trip, in Beijing's eyes, was a dangerous, reckless, and irresponsible provocation by the United States against China, and Xi Jinping himself warned that the U.S. was playing with fire. China immediately staged the biggest ever military drills around Taiwan and began conducting live fire exercises in the area. Additionally, it has sent fighters, bombers, and aircraft to the Taiwan Strait and imposed new import and export bans from Taiwan. In response, Taiwan also carried out live fire artillery drills to simulate defense against a potential attack by mainland China. So, what happens next? Will China invade Taiwan? With China's expansion in military capabilities, coupled with its willingness to use force on Taiwan to pursue Chinese reunification, a Chinese invasion of Taiwan is completely possible. However, whether China would do so remains a political choice. Because if such an invasion happens, it would possibly drag China into a larger conflict with the United States, the world's most powerful military power at present. So, to the question, will China invade Taiwan? Only time can tell.